Welcome to this month's edition of the Laurel FireWatch. I'm your co-host, Richard Blankenship.
I'm your co-host, Art Stop.
In today's program, we want to talk about Christmas tree safety, choosing the proper lighting for your tree, and the use of candles in your home. We're also going to talk about membership, and today we're going to dedicate this program to one of our fallen firefighters, Carl Owens.
We'll start off today's show with a little bit of talk about fire safety. We are in the middle of December right now. Christmas is fast approaching. And I would like to remind those of you who purchased your Christmas tree back before Thanksgiving that we are about 30 days into where some of those Christmas trees have been cut down. So that is 30 days that they have been dead and not getting any water. It's very important, and you must make sure that Christmas tree is always fresh. It needs to have water every day. You need to check the needles every day. As soon as that tree starts to show signs of age to where it's been cut off for 30 days, you need to remove it from the firehouse. Every year, and throughout the United States, we have issues where people with Christmas trees catch on fire. And the smallest tree can produce quite a bit of fire. A pine tree is a very combustible kind of material. Those pine needles and that pine wood has been known to cause a lot of fires in homes, in fireplaces, people sometimes use them in fireplaces, and they're not good for the chimney. There's a lot of oil inside of a pine tree, and it's very combustible. So it's very important that you keep that pine tree fresh. A lot of people, and my wife was one who's particularly bad at it, likes to use candles every year this time, particularly for the aromatic purposes. You must pay attention to that candle at all times. Do not leave it burn after you've gone to bed. Do not leave it burn after you've gone out to go shopping. You must make sure that candle is always extinguished when you aren't there to keep a constant eye on it.
Okay, if you ever notice when you go by the fire station there, Cherry Lane and Van Dusen Road, you'll notice two signs there. Big yellow sign that says help wanted. We're looking for volunteers. We're always in the need of volunteers to continue the service that we do for the citizens of Laurel and the surrounding counties. If you're interested in joining our department, let me tell you about the 4 memberships that we have. We call it administrative member, which is someone that doesn't ride the fire apparatus. It assists the administrative officers with doing letters, mail-outs, anything of that nature. We have a junior membership program, which is the age of 16 years old to 18. We start them young there, we work with them, and when they become 18 years old, they get voted into what they call the senior membership. And the senior membership goes all the way up till you get your 25 years in the department, and then you become a life member after 25 years of service. Also, if you get your 25 years of service, when you reach the age of 62, you get what they call a LOSAP. You get a stipend for the years that you put in. You get a monthly check from the county for doing your services that you've done for the community. If you're interested in joining our department, you can look at our webpage at www.laurelvfd.org for membership information. We changed the program a little bit. What they're doing now is we're bringing people in 2 times a month. We're bringing them in as groups, and then we're going to have a sit down with them and explain everything about the department. The process that you go through, the fingerprint process will be taken care of there. Then the paperwork is sent to the county for background check, and then you get a physical, and then you're allowed to start attending some training classes. But during that time, while you're waiting for that stuff to go through the process, you're definitely welcome to come up as many nights a week as you can. One of the things we like is to get as many hours from you as we can, because we appreciate the services that we get from you. But there is one night a week that you're assigned to, which is called a duty crew program. You come up from 7 o'clock to 11. That's where you get with a group of people and you do training together, you eat dinner together, you check the apparatus and clean the station. So it's a lot of fun. If you think you got the time, which we hope you do, if you think you can do it, because if I can do it, I know you can do it, we'd like to have you there. One of the other things we want to do today is we want to dedicate this program to one of our own members, Carl Owens. And I call him Uncle Carl because he's my wife's family, and I've always known him as Uncle Carl. But Carl Owens was a 69-year member of that department. This January, he would have had 70 years of service to the fire department. That's a lot of time. He put a lot of time for the citizens of Laurel and also for that department. He was a past president, he was a past secretary, and a past assistant fire chief. He was also chairman of many committees. Uncle Carl would run the county convention program many times. He was responsible for the parades. He had his hands into a lot of stuff. Uncle Carl's family was also big in the department. His father was chief and past president. His brothers were all members of the department and past officers. His mother was one of the firefighters that fought fires when the men went to war, and she was one of the ladies that fought fires for those times. So he came from a big background of firefighter family. We wanted to dedicate this show today to Uncle Carl for the service that he done for this community. Art talked a lot about candles and stuff like that. Again, listen what he had to say. We do have quite a few fires throughout the years, not only in Laurel but other places, because the candles that are not covered or protected, people just don't watch them, and they cause a serious issue.
As part of our fire safety for the month of December, for as long as I've been a member down here, we've always had some very serious fires around Christmas
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely.
It's just people get careless, they get forgetful, they think things don't happen to me. And Laurel's notorious for having some serious fires that deprive a lot of people of a holiday. I have a little quiz I want to bring to everybody today. And as I ask these questions, you answer them yourselves, whether they're true or false, and then we'll bring up the final answers later on. But the first question is, more people will die from fires in their home than from fire any other place. And the answer to that is true. And the reason is because they become complacent in their home. They don't check their smoke detectors. And quite often the fire kills them before they ever know they've had a fire in the house. Question 2. A large part of the fire problem is that people don't think it will ever happen to them. The answer to that is true. People get, just as I said before, people become complacent. They don't check the smoke detectors. They don't try to protect themselves. They don't think, what if? The place that people feel the safest from fire is in their home. That is also true. That's also part of that complacency problem. I know I'm very particular, and I know you are. When we go to the ocean every year, we always check the hotels we're in to see what floor we're on and how far it is. But we really don't do that in our own home because, like I said, we become complacent. Next question. If you have not practiced your fire escape plan, you are not ready to survive a fire. The answer to that is true. One thing I'm most proud about my kid, she's away at college, is she knows how many steps are out her front door to get to the street. So I guess whether she's crawling or falling down the floor or whatever it is, she knows how far she's got to go to get outside. It's not a bad habit to get into. Figure out what turns you got to make to get into the hallway, how many steps you got to get down the steps. If you live in an apartment complex, maybe how many floors you got to get down before you get outside to where you can get away from the building. Practice those things, count those steps, and if you have kids, have them practice. Put a little mask on them, make a game of it. Let them practice on how to get out. Next question. Most fire deaths happen at night when people are sleeping. The answer to that is true. That is why we push smoke detectors all the time. And we push them to have them in your bedroom. If you have hardwired smoke detectors, then go out and buy a couple battery-powered smoke detectors and put them in your bedroom. That way you know it always works. Next question. Smoke alarms should be checked to make sure they are working every 6 months. And the answer to that is true. We push that twice a year, every year, mainly when we turn the clocks up in the spring and turn the clocks back in the fall. That's the minimum that you should check them. But our friend Hector, and I would agree with him, is we want to check those smoke detectors every month just to make sure that you recognize the sound and make sure that it does function. We also push in the spring and the fall when we're changing the clocks to change the batteries in those smoke detectors. And I guess the proper terminology is smoke alarms now. So we need to get time. It's smoke alarms. Next question. Smoke alarms should be replaced every 10 years. The answer to that is true. Smoke alarms are just like anything else. Cars, trucks, appliances. They are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They should be replaced a minimum of every 10 years, if not sooner. They all, they get updated, they get repaired, they come up with better ideas. You can get them now with smoke and carbon monoxide detection. You can get them with lights. If you have somebody who lives in your home who has trouble hearing, you can get a flashing strobe light with your smoke detection system now. If you need one of those special smoke detectors, you can call the fire department at 301-776-3600 and make arrangements for us to come out and help you get one installed. When alerted by a smoke alarm, you have about 5 minutes to exit your house before poisonous smoke builds up. The answer to that is true, but I would think you would have probably less than 5 minutes. Smoke isn't probably the most dangerous thing because you can see smoke. Probably the most dangerous part of a fire is carbon monoxide. That's an odorless, colorless, tasteless gas, but that's probably the biggest thing that kills most people every year in a fire situation anyway, is carbon monoxide. It's the same type gas that comes out of your car when you start your car up in the morning. So that's probably the biggest concern you should have about any kind of fire. Next question. If fire happens at night, you will be awakened by smoke and flames. And unfortunately, the answer to that is false. Quite often, the smoke and carbon monoxide will kill you long before you ever see smoke and flames. At the first ignition of a flame or fire in your house, you're going to have a lot of smoke build up before you ever see any kind of colors or hear any kind of flames. So don't let the thought of smelling the smoke or seeing the flames give you a false sense of security that might wake you up in time. You don't have a chance. So be smart. Make sure you have good smoke detection in your house. If you haven't replaced that smoke alarm in a while, maybe it's time to do it. If you haven't changed that battery, or you can't remember the last time you changed that battery, it's probably time to change it now. And we'll have these on the site. You can check this off and on if you want to check your answers later on. Thank you.
Just a few other things. As a city inspector for the city of Laurel, working for the fire marshal's office, I do quite a few rental inspections throughout the city of Laurel. And during my times, I've noticed there's a lot of times that smoke detectors are inoperable for the reason of the batteries being taken out. People cook, sometimes they go off, they don't want to hear it. They either take it down or they remove the battery. It does not work if the battery's not in there. One of the things that, like Art said earlier, they're always coming up with new types of smoke detectors. They have one out now, it's a 10-year smoke detector. Once you put it up and you twist it, it automatically turns on and it locks itself in place so nobody can take it down. And you only have to replace it every 10 years. You take that one down and put a brand new one back up. But please, I know Christmas is here, and we all get around and everybody wants to play with those little toys, and the first thing they say is we need a 9-volt battery. They take it out of the smoke alarm, they put it in the toy, and it never goes back. That's a bad practice to do. Please make sure you keep those smoke detectors operable. If you can't replace the battery for whatever reason, like Art stated earlier, contact your local fire department or you can also contact the city and the fire marshal's office. We will be happy to come out and replace the battery for you. We want to make sure that you do have an operating smoke detector. Also, just add a little touch of favor for our department. We hosted the annual county convention here at Laurel this year, and we want to just show you some clips of some of the things that went on. You know, they had their election of officers, what they do every year. They also have a competition program that they do every year that all the departments get involved. They do all the rest, extrication. We do other types of drills. They do hose, ladders, and stuff like that. And we're going to show you some clips of that. That was a whole week program here in Laurel. We had a big parade and everything else. It was a good time and good training opportunity for people. It's fun to watch the people run down the street with the hose, because they had to run the hose down the street and hit the target with a nozzle with water, and they had to hook up to a fire hydrant and all that stuff. And it's just a good time, and it's a good time for the families. And you'll see with some of these clips that the families are out there with the kids and just enjoying themselves. So please enjoy watching this as well.
on, girls.
I'm behind you. You keep going.
Go, go! There you go. Keep going! Get it, Christy, get it!
So they got uniforms.
Does her son still do the band stuff?
Now, Jacob is now.
That one over there, son. Other way, other way, other way. Other way. Walk, 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 walk. Come on, pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up, Tyler, pick it up, run. Pick it up, brother. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Whoa!
Don't you dare hurt yourself!
But on behalf of the officers and members and the Lady Auxiliary Laurel Volunteer Fire Department and my family and Art's family, we wish you all a safe and happy holiday, and we will see you again in February of 2012. Thank you for watching.